Art is stories on canvas and in paperwork. Two paintings can look identical to the eye, but one is worth millions because its paper trail is clear while the other stalls because the story is foggy. In this long-form special, we unpack provenance, the documented history of ownership, exhibition, and literature that makes or breaks value. We keep language neutral, avoid nomming private individuals, and focus on practical reading skills you can apply whether you're a collector, a gallerist, or a curious listener. Begin with the definition. Provenance is not gossip. It is the sequence of verifiable records that connect an artwork from its creation to the present. Invoices, stock books, catalog raisonnés, exhibition checklists, customs forms, conservation reports, insurance schedules, export licenses, and published references. The stronger the chain, the fewer blank years and the more independent confirmations, the higher the market's confidence. The job is not to produce a perfect story. It is to produce a sturdy one that survives questions. Think of the chain as links with dates. Link 1, creation, studio records, photos, letters, or a gallery consignment that places the work with the artist. Link 2, first sale, an invoice or receipt from the first gallery or dealer to the initial buyer. Link 3, transfers, auction catalogs, probate inventories, bills of sale, or donation deeds that move the work forward. Link 4, public appearances, exhibitions with catalog numbers, reviews, and institutional labels. Link 5, literature mentions in monographs, catalog raisonnés, or academic papers. Link 6, recent logistics, import-export papers, condition reports, and insurance certificates that reflect the current owner or custodian. When dates fit without contortions and documents reference the same dimensions, medium, and titles, confidence grows. The biggest enemy of provenance is the gap. Gaps are spans of years where no primary document anchors the work. Some gaps are explainable: private family ownership with lost records, wartime displacement, or dealer practices that kept stock notes informal. Some gaps are warnings, sudden jumps from obscurity to blue-chip attribution without interim documents. As a reader, you don't have to panic at every gap. You weigh it. Short gap plus strong flanking evidence is manageable. Long gap plus dramatic price asks for caution and more testing. Titles, dimensions, and inscriptions are your compass points. Artists and dealers use variant titles. A work listed as untitled blue field in one catalog may be blue study in another. Dimensions can be framed or unframed, inches or centimeters, rounded or precise. Before you accept a claimed link, normalize the facts. Standardize units, measure the actual work, and compare to each document. A 1 centimeter variance is normal. A 10 centimeter variance is a new object. Inscriptions, signatures, and studio marks tie documents to surfaces, but only if photographed and dated when recorded. A good provenance package includes image-bearing documents, so the paperwork can't float free from the object. Catalogs raisonnés are gold when they exist. A raisonné is the scholarly inventory of an artist's oeuvre, listing works with numbers, images, and known histories. Inclusion is not a guarantee of authenticity forever, but it is a major stabilizer because it means a committee of experts has seen and logged the work. Absence from a raisonné is not automatic doom. New works surface, but absence plus gaps raises the burden of proof. When a raisonné is in progress, interim opinions or archives may issue letters. Read their scope. Some certify only that a work is recorded, not that it is authentic. Dealers and auction houses are careful with language for good reason. Phrases like attributed to, studio of, circle of, and after each have specific meanings on cataloging ladders. By the artist means strongest confidence. Attributed to suggests a likely but not certain hand. Studio of indicates a work executed in the artist's studio, possibly by assistance. Circle of means a contemporaneous follower. After indicates a later copy. Values can swing wildly across these grades. Read cataloging as a probability statement, not as a vibe. Condition intersects with provenance in subtle ways. A conservation report that documents old restorations can corroborate a long life and early exhibitions. Loan labels on the verso can anchor dates and venues. Conversely, a report that reveals recent additions or overpaint may explain why measurements differ from a historic listing. Condition is not moral. It is information that helps align documents with the object in hand. Always pair provenance with a modern condition report by an independent conservator before major decisions. Legal status is part of provenance in the 21st century. Works displaced during conflict, stolen from private owners, or exported without permits may carry restitution risk. Reputable institutions check databases such as the Art Loss Register or National Wartime Claims Lists and review gaps in the 1933-1945 window for European works. Export-controlled countries require licenses for certain artists and eras. A clean register search and clear export-import paperwork are value drivers because they reduce future surprises. The forgery problem often hides in paperwork more than in paint. Sophisticated forgers copy not only styles, but also paper trails, mock invoices, invented collectors, or doctored catalogs. How to defend yourself? Check the print technology of documents. Was this font available in 1956? Verify phone numbers and addresses against period directories, and confirm that a supposed exhibition actually occurred on the dates claimed at the venue listed. Archives and libraries are your friends. Librarians are the art market's immune system. Here is a practical reading drill you can use on any provenance note in a catalog. Step 1. Rewrite the chain as a dated list with one owner or event per line. Step 2. Mark each line as primary document seen, secondary cited but unseen, or hearsay no citation. Step 3. Create a second column with object facts, title variants, medium, dimensions, inscriptions. Step 4. Draw lines between documents and facts that match. Where you cannot draw a line, you have a gap to resolve. Step 5. Request copies or images of primary documents for lines marked secondary. Sellers who refuse without reason increase risk. For new collectors, build a paper-first habit. Before you fall in love with a surface, ask for the file. Invoices, exhibition checklists, literature references, and high-resolution verso photos. Check whether the seller's name appears on any document in a role that makes sense, gallery of record, heir, or consignee. If the file is thin, align price and terms accordingly. Conditional purchases subject to expert review, escrowed funds. Or a loan-to-buy period while research completes. Good sellers welcome homework. They know strong provenance sells itself. Museums and galleries can lift the whole ecosystem with transparency. Publish digitized archives, dealer stockbooks after reasonable embargoes, and exhibition histories with images and object numbers. When you deaccession, include full provenance on the record so works do not re-enter the market shorn of their history. When you publish a catalog racine entry, add high-resolution recto and verso images with scale bars so future researchers can match object to record without ambiguity. Now a compact checklist you can save. 1. Normalize facts, titles, dimensions, medium. 2. Date every link, preferred documents with images. 3. Identify gaps and weigh length versus risk. 4. Read cataloging language precisely. 5. Pair provenance with an independent condition report. 6. Run legal checks, loss databases, and export rules. 7. Verify documents against period sources. 8. Align price and terms with the strength of the file. 9. Reward transparency, discount opacity. 10. Write your own file as a caretaker. Today's notes are tomorrow's value. Let's close with a story shape you can use to tell provenance to non-specialists without hype. Begin at the studio, one concrete fact about creation. Move to the first buyer, a document you can picture. Touch on a public moment, an exhibition label or review. Acknowledge a gap, a decade in a private collection. Return to the object, a conservation note that ties past to present. End with clarity, the current status and what is still unknown. This shape respects truth, invites curiosity, and leaves space for the next steward to add their chapter. Provenance is paperwork, but it is also ethics. We are temporary custodians of objects that outlive us. The discipline to write things down, keep receipts, share records, and correct errors is a gift to the future. Art deserves beautiful stories, it deserves accurate ones more. When stories and records agree, value follows, and so does trust. Next time, we'll pivot back to criminal mechanics with a 2-part special on cross-border romance scams. How money mules are recruited, how scripts move between languages, and and the safe exit plans for people who realize they've been pulled in as intermediaries. Narration generated with AI, facts verified from public sources. No legal advice is given. The purpose is education and public safety. If you have a case tip or a documented pattern to share, use a safe channel and remove personal information that could identify non-public individuals.